All right, guys, so it's been about 5 days, and I want to give you a follow-up, a little mini review on how I feel about this phone so far. And I'm going to run back through the things that I kind of went down over the last, I've done probably at least 5 or 6 videos on this phone already, but this is kind of that mini review after about 5 days. So here we go. The design. The design of this phone is nothing spectacular. It's nothing special. It's the same design that we saw on the other Pixel. So I like it. You know what I'm saying? But it's nothing to run home about and say, oh my gosh, you know, it's not like that. It's a good design. You've got this fingerprint reader on the back. You got the 6-inch display on the front. You got a speaker up here, bezel down here. You know, it's unique little features about it, like this little orange button right here for the power button is really clean. I'm glad that they're doing it with one camera. That's clean too. It's a clean, sleek design, but it's something that we've seen already, obviously. So how could I be overly excited about this if I wasn't really overly excited about the first one? This is a slippery device though, so I have some skins coming in. You will see that. Yes, I got it from Sophie Guard. I'm not rocking, you've seen the video. I'm not rocking with D-Brand or Slick Wraps anymore. I'm waiting on Sophie Guard, and I finally bought some skins and they are coming. So you'll see them exclusively on this channel right here. Yes, I paid for them. But the design itself is a good design. You know? I can deal with it. I'm just going to put a skin on it because I like to keep the phones naked around the house. And when I go out the house, I'm rocking with some kind of protection. And this is the protection. This is the only protection I'm going to purchase, probably. So any other cases you see, I probably won't buy them unless it's an outer box. Now I'll buy an outer box. But other than that, hopefully I'll get some more cases in for review and I'll post them for you. As a matter of fact, I do have some cases for review. I got some already coming. They should be here this week. But now let's jump over to processing power. So I did a gaming video. And, you know, a lot of you guys accepted that video. And we're talking about the processing power of the Snapdragon 670. But in the video, I told you guys, I'm not playing PUBG because I don't know how to play PUBG. I'm not interested in it. What I should have said was, I'm not a gamer. And I just went in and downloaded some graphic intense games. And that's it. So if you want to find out how PUBG plays on this, you're going to have to buy it yourself or go find somebody else's video that's willing to play PUBG for you. It's really not a big deal. PUBG is not the only graphic intense game. These games that I played work very well on this phone, and they are heavily graphic intense games because they don't play very smooth on every phone I have. So this phone handles it very well. And the processing power, the performance, I'm all in with it. I have a change of heart about that part of how I felt about it because I had never experienced the 670. I like the 632. The 632 is what's in the Moto G7 and Moto G7 Power, and they are fast, folks. Those are some blazing fast phones. They're stock Android too. So, you know, scanning through, doing this right here, that's not where you get your real experience for the performance of the phone. It's that day-to-day task. It's when you open something, does it open? You know, did it open when I needed it to open? The answer is yes. Shout out to Mobile Geezer getting busy on the bag. But that's when you see your processing power, when you got a lot of stuff open and, you know, it's slowing down on you. That's your processing power. Your day-to-day task will show the performance of the phone. And the 670 is solid. No complaints. Now, battery life is something that I covered and I did a full video on it. The battery life has gotten better for me over the last 5 days. I can easily scroll through a day now or stroll through a day with no problems. Pushing up possibly 6.5, almost 7 hours of screen on time. But remember, that is going to depend on what you do with your phone. Not what I do. So your battery life, what I'm telling you directly is something you should have heard a million times, is going to be your battery life. Simply put. Simply put. So I feel like the phone is a powerhouse champ on battery. You might say otherwise. But in my experience, as a consumer, as a tech reviewer, as whatever, it's good. It's a good phone on battery. It's 3,700 milliamp hour battery in here. And I think they could have gone on ahead and did 4,000. Like, there's no reason. They could do even 5,000. There's no reason to not go big on the battery. But it's good enough for what it is. Yeah. So let's talk about the obvious here, which is the screen. The screen is nice. I went and viewed this. I viewed this screen in Best Buy. I went to Best Buy And I looked at the smaller version. And when I got in there, the guy was like, a lot of people are saying that this new version is better than the previous version. And I was like, I don't know. When I got them side by side, I noticed that this screen appeared to be brighter. Now, the previous Pixel, the Pixel 3 is POLED. This is OLED. I don't know how much difference that makes, but I can tell you that the whites appeared whiter, is what I want to say. You know what I'm saying? So the whites made the screen look like it was brighter. Now, if it is brighter on the technical side, you guys can fight it out in the comments. I don't care about the nits and all that stuff. I'm talking about real time. The screen felt like it just was brighter than my Pixel. I had them side by side. So, and that's just what it is. And I told him, I said, I'm not really sold on, it being a better screen. I'm just saying I like them both. And the whites on here look like they're a lot bit brighter. So that's where I'm at with that. But the screen is beautiful. And there's no getting around that. The cameras, on the other hand, are becoming some of my favorite cameras. They're not world leading class video cameras, but they're still boss. The 60 frames per second on here is pretty boss. The 4K is pretty boss. The video recording period, pretty boss. But where it stands out, and it murders nearly every phone on the market, is still shots, especially portraits. Portraits are my favorite to take. The reason I like doing portraits on the Pixel is because it takes both photos with and without the bokeh effect. It does it all for you. You don't have to make any adjustments. It just does it for you. It's just an all-around good set of cameras. It's got a pretty decent shutter time. It's a good set of cameras, man. I've done a ton of videos on these cameras, and the front doesn't have the ultra wide, and so the crop is different, obviously. And the rear doesn't have the ultra wide, so the crop is different. Like that super wide doesn't have that, so the crop is a little different. I mean, it's closer to you, but that doesn't make it bad. It just means that it's different. The crop is different. Like 4K, 25 frames per second. You've seen it on mirrorless cameras. Now the price, I don't feel any different about the price. I think the price on these could have been lower, but I understand Google has to maintain some type of profit margin, and I get it. So even though I'm saying I think the price could be a little bit lower, it's still reasonably priced considering what it's offering and competing against. Make sense? So stereo speakers. Now, I know there are plenty of flagships out there from the previous year and currently this year that cost the same, but they don't offer a few things. Some of them don't offer stereo speakers, and some of them none of them offer these still shot, the cameras on here. And remember, Google's doing it with one camera. All the other ones are doing it with 2 and 3. So the cameras and the stereo speakers are just two things. The performance obviously is really solid. And that's definitely going to be subjective. You have to, this is just me talking. You weigh it out how you want to weigh it out. But what I'm telling you is the price is reasonably priced for the average consumer who's looking for somewhat of a flagship. I mean, there's people are saying this is a mid-range because of the processor and the price, but the price to me knocks it way out of the mid-range category. I don't follow what everybody else says when it comes to pricing. I think mid-range phones should be like $200, no more than $300. Lower tier phones should be like $29 or $100 or less. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you're in flagship territory and premium phones when you start to get to $450 on up and $500. You got to start explaining yourself when you go over $400. And this phone is no exception. This one's $480. The smaller one is $400. The smaller one, I could push that up at $400. But this one for $480, you're pushing it. You know what I mean? So that's just me. You fill it out how you want to fill it out. I'm saying that this phone is a great phone. But I still think the price could have been lower just based on today's standards in today's market of where I can find other phones with Snapdragon 855s for the same price. Now, whether it offers the same speakers or camera, like I said before, that's where this phone might have the jump. But some people feel like stock Android is boring. You see what I'm saying? So You be the judge on what you want. I'm gonna get out of here. I think after my 5 days with this phone, I'm really impressed. I didn't know how I was gonna feel about it, but it's impressive. It's an impressive phone, and I will be comparing it against this phone right here. This is the Xiaomi Redmi Note 7. This phone is a beast on the cameras. This phone costs $200 though. 6.3 inch display. It's got the dual camera setup. It's got a fingerprint reader. This phone costs $200 though. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna completely compare these. I'm not just gonna do software, I don't think, or cameras. I'm gonna do the complete setup on that one. So look for that video soon on Premiere. It's your man Jay. 5 days with this young beast right here, the little brother, if you want to call it. It's actually really good, folks. It's good. A few drawbacks, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, my personal opinion, it's a win so far. Customers should probably pick this up over the Pixel 3 because the performance is the same in my experience. I got them both side by side. There's really not much difference in my opinion. And you get the same camera. You know, I was saying before how some people should probably feel a little bit cheated. You know, some people say, I don't feel cheated. I don't feel cheated. I'm saying it in the aspect of they just dropped this phone for half the cost of your current phone and everybody's getting the same cameras. And people say, oh, it's not about the cameras. Well, now you can't just say that this phone has good cameras because it performs well. The gaming is good. The battery is probably better than the Pixel 3 for a lot of people. And you get a screen, the 1080p OLED display. I mean, you're getting a lot here. And you're getting the same design. So if someone walks up to me and asks me, should I get the Pixel 3 XL or the 3 XL or the 3 or the 3A? I'm going to say get one of the 3As, man. You may be still paying a little bit more than I would want to pay, but you're still getting pretty much the same phone. Pixel owners, I hate to say it. I hope you're not offended by that. But if you are, well, go put a pacifier in your mouth because, you know, go check Google. They did it. That's why I released the other video saying, do we actually need a Pixel 4? I think Google should wait at least another year before releasing the Pixel 4. Anyway, it's your man Jay. 5 days with this beautiful monster right here. It's crazy, man. It's the cameras on here will change your mind about using your phone for photos. It's a wrap.